Hello people, it's time for the yearly settings video. I know it's been widely requested, so let's get into it. So in this video I'm going to first show you my camera settings, then my wheel settings in game, and as well as the force feedback settings that you can adjust on the wheel itself. Then I'll do a brief tour of my sim racing setup. So let's get started with the camera settings. They're actually exactly the same as last year and the year before, and the year before that. So I've been using these for a while now. So one TV pod offset with a field of view of -18, so that's pretty much as low as you can get. That gives you a very zoomed in view, and I think it allows you to be more precise, so that's why I use it. And to counteract for that, I want to actually be able to see the track, right? So I run the vertical to the maximum and the horizontal fairly back, so the camera placement is a bit farther back, but there's a good amount of zoom. Then angle completely faces the track because I want to see most of the track, and yeah, camera shake 0 is everyone should do, honestly. So that's about it. I use this setting for every car, not just the McLaren, and yeah, don't think I have. Oh, I should show you how it looks. Yeah, looks like that. I think it's really nice. Anyway, going to the force feedback settings in game, it's actually very similar to how the default is for my wheel, which is a Fanatec CSL Elite. So calibration, I didn't touch it in any way. I really like how the defaults are, so I didn't feel the need to change that. And vibration and force feedback, so obviously on. Then 70 on the strength. Then these are actually all default apart from the rumble strip. So I want to feel more comfortable in the curbs, like less of a knockback effect. So I turned that down all the way to 0. I can still feel the curbs, so it's fine. Could potentially turn down the on-track and off-track effects of it, but I like the realism aspect of it, so I keep it as it is. Wheel damper at 1, then wheel rotation at 360 degrees. I think it's just the most natural for me. I know many quick people like run it fairly low, but I just don't prefer to do that. It works fine for me, so that's basically what it looks like in game. I don't think I'm missing anything. My HUD settings are also very default, so yeah. I think we can move on to the force feedback settings on the Fanatec.
So here are Fanatec's own settings that you can adjust on the wheel itself. And for me, these are actually exactly the same as last year again. I didn't really feel the need to touch anything because it felt quite nice. But I guess if you're looking to adjust your handling, the main thing to look at for me, in my opinion, is the force effect intensity, which I have it set at 0, but that basically describes how the surface on the game interacts with the force feedback you experience on the wheel. And for me, I had this set up to like maximum a couple of years back, and I really felt every single bump and curb, and it really changed my perception of traction. I now prefer to run it on 0. It just feels way smoother for me, and I think my driving style has evolved as well to accommodate that a bit. So apart from that, the drift mode, I guess, is like a fairly important one. If you have it higher up, the handling will be twitchier, so you really need to be comfortable with it. But apart from that, every other setting, I just found what I liked, what worked for me, and yeah, it seems great. Then BRF, the setting you see at the very bottom, that is something you get if you have the load cell brake pedals, which I do, and I have it set at 40, so I just thought it was a good balance for stiffness and how responsive I wanted the brake pedal to be. And if you have it too high up, then you have to push the pedal a lot and it wears out the rubbers. I've heard that happen to quite a few people, so I don't want to run it too high. But yeah, that's basically it for the force feedback settings on Fanatec.
So here's my sim racing setup itself. So I played the game on the Fanatec CSL Elite wheelbase, and I got this with the F1 bundle kit that was on sale about like 3 years ago. And it served me very well, no major complaints or issues. The only thing I'd say is that the Alcantara here gets worn out quite a bit, especially if your hands get sweaty, and you can imagine that happens quite a bit with the TT World Record ones. But yeah, apart from that, perfectly fine wheel. I really like how you can customize it, as you can like see on the force feedback settings before. So the only change or upgrade I've made to it has been getting the load cell brakes. These are the version 1 load cell brakes, and honestly they're worth like every single penny from my end. Like I definitely say it as a suggestion. It's really helped me with trail braking as well as turning off ABS on the game, and I imagine if you're running an even more of a simulator type of game, it will be worth even more. So I run it with the stiffest rubbers. You can see all the other rubbers up there. I also removed the white, or now yellow, foam thingy, so no pedal travel. But yeah, so that's how I set it up. Then for the wheelbase and the wheel itself, there's this website called lovelystickers.com where you can get custom stickers on it. So I have like a Ferrari 312T sticker on the wheelbase from the 1970s, and a more modern one on the wheel itself. I definitely recommend it, like very affordable and doesn't get worn out. I think I've had it on for 2 years and it looks really fresh. So as for the rig itself, I have the GT Omega Classic, I think Classic Simulator, it's what it's called. It's this setup. I really like that there's like nothing in the middle between my legs, that would just be an obstruction. Then I got the seat extension a few years after I bought the Classic set, and it had the RS6 seat on top of it. This seat is fine, it's very comfy, but I'd say it gets like worn out quite a bit. You can see there. But I mean, it's been holding on. Maybe it's towards the end of its lifetime now, but I'd also recommend that. I play on the PlayStation 5, 120 FPS, no tricks. With I don't even follow it anymore, but there was a thing with the curbs like about a year back that you could cut them easily on lower FPS. But anyway, for monitor, I have a 27-inch curved monitor from Acer. I mean, it's nothing like extremely fancy or anything. It does the job for me. No major issues again. But, am I missing anything? Oh, and I also play with the Sony Platinum headset for PlayStation. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and like I can answer them in the comments. And I'll also like drop all the actual specific names of these on the description of the video. So I think that's about it, and I guess I'll see you on my next video. Bye.